Hello, everyone, and welcome to our webinar on the topic the human factor in AI driven commercial innovation. Today, the integration of AI into commercial practice has revolutionized the way business operate, and its impact continues to grow. As businesses increasingly integrate AI into their operations, it's vital to consider the impact of human its impact on human workers, like from job displacements to ethical consideration. And the rise of AI driven commercial innovation presents a host of challenges and opportunities. So, today we are fortunate to have an amazing expert on this topic, Bart Weinman, with years of experience in technology and business. Welcome, Bart.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us and taking out this wonderful time. Bart, can you give a quick introduction of yours?
Yes, Bart Veeman, 37 years of age, living near Amsterdam, born and raised in Amsterdam, married, 2 kids, and have started as a strategist in a marketing agency about 15 years ago, and grew myself into the tech space, marketing, e-commerce, leadership, and now a full focus on AI and making it ethically and responsibly available to every company out there.
Perfect. AI is it's today in the world, like everywhere. So let's dig into it. And so without further ado, let's begin this engaging webinar. And the platform is completely yours. But
thank you. Let me share my screen with you.
Yes.
Please confirm when everything is working.
Yes, working good.
Are we on?
Yes.
Okay, then let's get started. All right, as said, we're going to talk about the human factor and AI-driven commercial innovation. And human factor has different approaches. You can see it from different angles. I will come back to that a little bit later. Before I start, I already did a quick introduction about myself. This is my business experience, but I'm here also in a balancing side, because I'm not only a professional working on innovation and trying to scale businesses using AI, for example, but I'm also, more important, I'm a human being, and I'm a father of 2. So I'm also worried about what kind of world are we creating for our future generations. I want my kids to grow up in a safe and responsible world, a green world where they can live the life they want, and not being afraid of technology that we created together. So this is a balance I'm trying to bring into my business as well, and also to take you on the journey today. So again, artificial intelligence, we see it and hear it everywhere. I think we cannot open any news channel or professional business channel and people are talking about artificial intelligence, and I don't think it has been a short time ago that many experts are arising in the world of artificial intelligence, and I think we need to be careful with this and see and keep our minds open and get our own understanding of what are we doing, what are we building together. And what we see now is that we're trying to create some technology that is taking over a lot of human capacity and human things we do, and people are even afraid of their jobs, which there's 2 sides of the coin in this case. And the question that arises, is society becoming non-human by using AI and making it more alive than we thought it was? So let's take one step back. We are now at the stage where humanity can go 2 ways. We need to make decisions. Either it's a positive or it's a negative side. And some people are really pessimistic. Okay, it can destroy the world. It can destroy us as humanity. But on the other hand, there are a lot of people that seeing, okay, there's so much potential here, and we should embrace it. And we should embrace it and change the way we work with technology and with AI. Either way, either you're afraid or you're on the optimistic side, we need to make sure that everything we do with AI does not get disconnected to human values. We should always keep in mind, okay, I am using AI, I'm implementing AI in my business. Is this still relevant? Is this still close to what I believe as a human being is responsible? This is what we need to do for a responsible AI future, but also for future generations, for ourselves and our future generations. If we get to the human factor in AI-driven commercial innovation, we should enable this human factor. And in my opinion, we should approach this from different angles. Human factor is not only what we put in there as ourselves, but also how can we make it more realistic. So one of the topics we are going to look at today is reality. How can we make the digital interactions, the innovation more real? And bring it closer to reality. The second one is, of course, safety. And the last one is responsibility. How can we make AI responsible? Let's start with reality. Reality is something that we can see and can understand, which is close to who we are and what we want to see. We believe that synthetic media is the solution to bring AI into a visualized real world, but digitized version. So let's look at synthetic media and listen to what synthetic media entails.
What is synthetic media?
So synthetic media, I guess, is sort of an umbrella term that sort of has emerged over the last 4 or 5 years, which really just kind of describes this new era of content generation, which is powered by AI. What is happening now is that we can use AI to actually create content. Deep learning technologies can look at the real world. So it analyzes real data, like real music, film, text, images, for example. And it can then learn to replicate things that look really, really real. Voice cloning, for example, is very easy to understand. Now what we can do is we can take half an hour of you, Peter, talking into a microphone, for example, and we can train an AI system to replicate your voice at a pretty high fidelity. And that means that you can sit down at your computer and you can just type out a podcast.
So this synthetic media is the visualization of generative AI, what we know as generative AI. Examples that already go way back is Michaela. She was the first generative AI created influencer on Instagram. We know examples of David Beckham being cloned and his face analyzed and being cloned in digital form. We've seen many other examples so far in which we clone people, make them synthetic, and by using them in media, you create synthetic media. And we can see different examples. So we have pre-generated AIs. It's an AI that is, like I said, it's cloned, and by textual input, you can have it speak or do whatever you want it to do.
Hoi Bart, ik heb een aantal video's speciaal voor jou geselecteerd om je meer te vertellen over.
And we also have real-time AIs. So this is more close to the deepfake. On the right side is a real person. The left side is the filter that you put over a camera. And you can use it, for example, to have unbiased pitching and give everyone the same right within video pitching. So it's really about the content and what you say. It's not about how you look and who you are on the outside. We have the voice AIs. I will share some examples later on. And we have also something that if communities start working with it, you have the voice, you have the face, and here you have a singing Freddie Mercury in Korean, solely based on AI. So those are nice examples, but looking from a commercial perspective, how can we apply these AI solutions into commercial innovation? As said, AI voice. AI voice is the most common used AI solution in synthetic field to make interactions more personal. This is my voice cloned in English.
This is my synthetic voice in English, able to speak whatever I want.
And with the same synthetic voice, I can even speak Italian.
Questa è la mia voce sintetica in italiano, capace di parlare quello che voglio.
And to be honest, I cannot speak Italian. I like to eat pizza. I like to go there on holidays, but speaking is a bridge too far so far. But this AI enables me to speak the language and even do podcasts in Italian or any other content generation I want to do in a local language, in this case Italian, but it can be any other language like Korean or Portuguese, wherever you want it to be shared. You have different examples, voice cloning from text to voice, from voice to voice even. So I speak in English, and on the other side of the camera or the recorder, it can be a different language, automatically translated into another output voice. We have the AI video. This is a product video in French, for example.
Bonjour à tous. Je m'appelle Anna Katharinakis, je suis product représentative pour le département de l'artisanat, et je suis heureuse de pouvoir vous présenter.
You can use those synthetic characters in product demonstrations. You can use them in different kind of video production to save you time, to make it more personal, and you can even add the personal touch in terms of personalization with your name, or even last week you bought this and this product. Here you have a specific offer. So there's different use cases. The next step, next level, instead of using standard models, you can even clone your own ambassadors. You can clone your own people, for example, celebrities, but also the CEO of a company, and make them do the content sharing for you. This is a Dutch TV journalist we cloned. As a short example, and we used her in a documentary she did about deepfake technology, but also the positive side of using this technology. You can use it in explainer videos, on e-commerce websites, in chat functionalities, in social media channels. So different platforms where you can apply synthetic media to make it more personal, to save time, and to add this human touch in terms of creating a more real environment and getting less the feeling that you're talking to a robot. And we all know that talking to human beings is increasing engagement and increasing conversion eventually. So from a commercial perspective, try to use this technology to make it more engaging. Then towards the chatbot functionalities, we know the chatbots, like I said, there's a textual input and you get a textual answer. You're talking to a robot and you know you're talking to a robot. Now you can also talk to a pre-generated version of it, but with a face and the voice. And this next level is where you can have a ChatGPT-like solution where you can train your data in an isolated form and have the smart chatbot on top of it, giving it a face and a voice as well. So the person is talking on a phone, for example, with a voice-generated prompt, and you get an answer based on the data that you as a company provide. So, for example, within the medical scene, if you have a lot of documents about how to use medication, how to do certain treatments, you have it all documented. We can use that data, you can train it and add this ChatGPT-like solution on top of it. So it's isolated and it's safer to use without hallucinations that we see in ChatGPT, for example. AI NFTs, make it more engaging, add this synthetic media element to it. Some other ideas, like I said.
Vino și lucrează pentru Kaufland, cel mai bun angajator din Europa.
The AI trainer, we can also develop a city guide, but all with the face and with this human touch.
Welcome to the city of Dubai.
And the question to you as a company, do you have more ideas? Is there more examples? Please think out of the box when you start drafting your own ideas. How can I add a human being in my interaction with my customer? It could be in service, it could be in marketing, it could be in sales. It could also be internal sales representatives that need to be trained on new products automatically. So you have new product information coming in, you want to turn it into a video, use this synthetic media, for example. So a few examples we developed with Humans AI is the first Prime Minister AI counselor in the world for the Romanian government, where we created this real life robot, so to speak, including synthetic media, where it analyzes the sentiments and the real opinions of the people in Romania, and it gives an advice to the government. So we made it to the World Economic Forum, but also to the United Nations last week, because the similar project we're going to do with the Dutch government. To give a face and a voice to a certain sea within the Netherlands. So these are examples where you can get a better interaction with a larger group of people, and even this robot has a face and a voice, and you can ask questions to it real time. Another one is if you have a group of people and you want to give it a voice, you can collect the community's voice by synthesizing everyone's human voice and bring it together into one single voice, which becomes the brand voice. So a football club, instead of as a logo and a style guide and everything around it, it can also have a unique voice that is particularly part of the community and coming from the community, literally. Another project where we synthesize the celebrities' potential is our collaboration with Soup, in which we are going to synthesize voices of celebrities, which makes it possible to have a one-on-one conversation with your fans, or from a fan perspective, you can have a one-on-one conversation with your celebrity, with football players or basketball players or singers. So it enables a more personal interaction, even though, of course, it's synthetic and it's pre-generated with text. This is the chat functionality I spoke about. Isolated data and adding this chat functionality on top, but you can personalize it by giving it a voice and a face as well. So it's a lot of information. To summarize, what we do is we take human beings, and we put it and turn it into digital DNA. So this digital DNA can be used within all the different commercial activities and commercial innovation. So we create more reality around the people. Or about the communication, and we keep in mind this human touch within it. But then the question is, okay, we create this digital DNA, I become digital, is that safe? So how can we make sure that this innovation is on the safe track and is not being stolen? I don't want my digital DNA being stolen by someone. And can you imagine if the world gets its hand on celebrities' DNA, because then it can create anything. And we've seen some examples already over the last years, and we need to make sure that we do it the safe way. And the question is, what's so artificial about intelligence? In our opinion, it's all about the framework you use to develop, deploy, and distribute data. Blockchain is a safer and more ethical, scalable platform to store, share, distribute data. Why AI in blockchain? And this is something we do not see often yet, but we are bringing together more widely spread and also safer on the side, because we know developing AI is long and expensive. It's controlled normally on the Web2 side by a gatekeeper. There's no fixed governance framework. It's hard to find it. So there's a lot of challenges here. But by bringing AI to blockchain, we can create anything, but we can also create and control what we do. When bringing AI onto blockchain, what you do is all the assets, all the data that you put on there, you create AIs as NFT. So the AI NFTs are these new tokenized assets that you put on there. So if I put on my face, my digital DNA in total, it becomes an NFT, and I always control and own my own NFTs in this sense. In this way, I can add a unique voice to anything. I can add a business voice and distribute it as well. And this all by bringing AI on blockchain. It addresses the AI ethical dilemma. It creates transparency and a borderless and limitless ecosystem. And by bringing AI to blockchain, you can unleash creativity, the participation. You can create DAOs around every AI development. So these are two worlds we want to bring together to have a more safe and sound future for the AI development, and encapsulate it in a more transparent and traceable environment. And Time also last year mentioned blockchain could solve the problem of digital identity, and we strongly believe in this vision as well. So what we create is humans as AI NFTs, and that's why we developed the blockchain of AIs over the last year. And in the end of May, we're going live with mainnet, which makes AI on blockchain available to the wider audience with the first projects on there, and there will be many projects. And the key here is to have a interoperable blockchain connected with other blockchains. So if I bring my digital DNA to the blockchain of AIs, I can use my DNA into metaverse worlds and also bring this reality to, form in a safe environment to other virtual worlds, all bringing together the real and safe world. One additional step we're going to add here is a proof of human, which makes it necessary to show that I'm the real person behind the decision. We believe there always should be a human decision. That's why we want to prove this with a proof. You could be with a smile, a blink. These are the steps we encapsulate to make it all safer. Then I want to show you a short manifesto about this whole process.
We dream, us humans. We dream our dreams of things we haven't seen and places we haven't been to. We dream of her and him and them, of this and that and everything. But what if we can dream of something that can dream along with us? Of things we haven't seen and places we haven't been to. Of her and him and them. Of this and that and everything. AI impossible, they say. Not when AI meets blockchain. A dream machine that learns, creates, and dreams. We're introducing the first AI launchpad with a mission. To scale human potential by merging AI and blockchain and accelerate the AI impossible. Scale your AI, or be part of one, and help it learn to dream on scale.humans.ai.
So it's all about bringing these worlds together, and like the video said, creating the AI impossible to make it safer and to create a safe environment for our future generations as well. So looking back at AI-driven commercial innovation, there is so much you can do on creating a real personal interaction between you and the customer, between internal colleagues, by adding a digital DNA to your communication. It's a scalable manner, it's a personalized manner, and it's on the train of AI and generative AI as we see it. So reality is the first. Of course, when combining it with a blockchain, we create a more safe environment. So be aware, if you use AI, what kind of framework is being used? How do companies make sure that the AI the AI that's being distributed is also being done in a safe and ethical manner? But then the third element is responsibility. So at the end, we are all working with AI. We are all creating AI, or we are a user, we're a researcher in the institute. We're all working in a sense with AI. And the question is, who at the end is responsible? Should it be the government? Should it be AI companies? Should it be the researchers? Who should be responsible? And the question at the end is, isn't it all of us? Shouldn't we all be responsible here and keep our minds together? Okay, every time I use AI, is this going to contribute to me, and not only me, but also to the complete society? Why am I using it, or why am I developing it? Why am I distributing it to others? So this is something we should keep in mind. It's not about them, and we should not wait for governments, even though there's now a consensus on the AI Act. We should not wait for others, but we should take control and our own responsibility in using and developing this. One thing we do with humans, we're one of the founding members of HEA, it's Human AI Alignment, in which we develop the human value framework, where AI models are being tested to human values, and human values can be trustworthy, can be factual, could be bringing happiness, all the human values that we can find in the world. In our opinion, AI models should always be tested towards these or against these human values to make sure, am I contributing to a human-centric world? And when eventually we bring these three elements together, the core brings a human-centric AI-driven commercial innovation. So if we talk about reality, safety, responsibility, make sure that you touch all the points. There's an overlap, and then you can have something that is called human-centric AI-driven commercial innovation. So we always keep including the human touch, and keep track of our human values when using and distributing AI. Once again, there's so much to do, there's so much we can do, but keep your minds close to what you believe is fair and responsible. And then we are heading towards a very optimistic and bright AI future, as long as we do it together and don't lose track of each other. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them. And it was a pleasure to sharing my vision on this.
Yes, Adan, it was an amazing presentation by you, Bart. It was very insightful, and love the concept of Minute, which is launching on 29th May, AI blockchain concept. It's lovely. Coming on to the questions that the audience have asked, like the first question that the audience wants to know, like how can business balance the benefit of AI-driven innovation with the need of ethical considerations?
Ethical or ethnical? What do you?
Ethical considerations.
Ethical.
Yes.
Yeah, the balance is something we should also look for. It's not fixed yet, so businesses should definitely keep focusing on how can we make sure that these innovations that we want to deploy, like I said, don't lose track of human values, for example. And also another element is what kind of data is being used for this. So if I want to add an AI component to my business, what kind of data am I using? What kind of data should be used? or which kind of data should be enriched. So there's a lot of elements where you should try to balance. So it's about data, it's about
yes. Yes, I completely agree with you. And I think the businesses can integrate AI into their operations. Like, it's crucial to balance the benefit of innovation with ethical consideration. And this can be like achieved by involving diverse stakeholders in AI development as well. And establishing clear guidelines and regularly monitoring and evaluating the AI system. Like, this would like help a lot also.
Yeah, and something I want to add here is if you talk about the data being used, and in a sense, we are all biased. All of us, every human being is biased, but we want to take out the bias when training and learning these computers to come up with some output. So because you have the risk of bias, but also racism, etc. So if there's more information on one side, on one topic more than the other, the computer thinks, okay, this is more relevant, so it becomes biased.
Exactly.
So what we need to
Yes,
need to do here is to apply an unlearning process, and this is something that is already possible by unlearning data and balancing, in that sense, what kind of data is being used to make sure, okay, it forgets about certain spectrum of the data. So it is possible to take out this bias. It's a long process, this unlearning, but not only learning is relevant, but the unlearning as well in this sense.
Exactly. That also comes to my next question about talking about bias. Like, how can business mitigate bias and discrimination in AI algorithms, and can also ensure the fairness it provides?
Yeah, like I said, it's analyzing the data, unlearning data. So not only learning and training, but also unlearning to make the balance of the data. There's a lot of scientists really good and can share a lot of information about this. But the only thing I want to say, okay, look at what data you use. And also what purpose you have in using this AI. If you upfront can already say this will not bring the output that we want to offer to our community, to our company, then don't do it. That's also fair. So make sure that everything you deploy in, because what we see in the world right now, it's OpenAI, of course, launched GPT-4 and ChatGPT, and there's a rat race. So it forced every other company to deploy as fast as possible other AI mechanisms and solutions, because it's all about money, in a sense.
Exactly.
And every company wants to stay alive and wants to earn money and make sure that they're the best in their field, and they cannot stay behind. So you see this rat race. Okay, who's the biggest, who's the fastest, etc. And we need to make sure that we stop this side and we start focusing on, okay, why are we doing this? Is this really for human society? Is this a benefit, or is it just for the sake of the rich and the money?
Exactly. And adding on to that, I think businesses must continuously monitor and evaluate their AI systems to ensure that they are producing fair and equitable outcomes. And they must have a clear governance framework that is like countable and transparent, and which promotes ethical and responsible AI development as well. Talking about AI development, that comes to my next question. Like, what are the potential benefits of fostering collaboration between AI and non-AI teams in business operation? Like, how can it be achieved in today's world?
That's a good question. I think you're talking about the internal side of businesses as well, right?
Yes.
I think they can contribute to each other. Because the AI teams are really focusing on going faster and creating more cool stuff, and because that's in sense what it is about at the moment, and creating efficiency, etc. On the other side, the non-AI teams are more into this world, so I think they can balance in that sense, keeping track on the human values in development. So yes, we should really keep in mind the two sides of the coin and keep them collaborating, because otherwise we lose track of reality and what society is really about. So applying this to businesses, if you talk about, for example, sales teams, they know what the customer wants because they have experience with talking with customers. Computers don't have it. They can analyze data, they can come up with the coolest stuff, but they don't understand what people are saying. Some people are calling, elderly person, for example, they're calling to service centers just for the sake of being heard. This is something that a computer cannot analyze, because it's talking about a lot of things, but it's all about being heard in that sense. So in that sense, looking at the business perspective, it's essential to keep the real interaction with customers, but also internal employees. And on the other side, use AI teams to improve efficiency, effectiveness of certain communications, but do not replace and collaborate together and embrace it.
Exactly, because the human input is actually crucial even nowadays. And
100%.
I think, yes, and I think the collaboration between AI and non-AI teams in business operation, if we talk about, can also like bring benefits such as improved problem solving, greater efficiency, and enhanced creativity as well. Like to achieve this
Absolutely.
collaboration, businesses can invest in cross-functional training and encourage regular communication and feedback between the teams, which will like help a lot.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Moving on to the next question, like how can business encourage experimentation and risk taking in AI innovation while also mitigating the potential risk as well?
It's starting small and in an isolated manner. Don't go out there. Make sure you never open up your own data to external companies that like ChatGPT. Make sure your private information is not shared there, but make sure that everything you do is you use AI systems to bring it in-house and use it in an isolated manner. So don't open up everything to the outside world, but keep it isolated. Do some small tests. Start trying to do it, and again, in a safe framework. Use a safe environment to do it, and then you can balance it again. And yes, you can try, you can experiment, but you make sure that the risks are as small as possible.
Exactly, wonderful approach. And I think there is like another approach, like is to establish like clear guidelines and standard for the use of AI. Like this can include regular risk assessments and testing to identify potential issues and address them proactively. Like it's important to involve stakeholders from diverse backgrounds in the development and testing of AI system to ensure that they are aligned with the ethical and moral values, which will like help us a lot. And the users as well.
Yeah, and involving the stakeholders is a very valid and important point. Make sure that everyone is heard within the testing, and you don't lose out people here on the road because just the focus is on we need to do something with AI without talking to everyone that is really involved in the company.
Exactly. Now talking about the potential risk, like nowadays AI is everywhere, and the risk everyone is saying like the human input is also worried. So like what are the potential risk and benefit of using AI in commercial innovation, and how can businesses ensure that they are maximizing the benefit while minimizing the risk as well?
Yeah, no, like I said before, there's many risks in the sense that you start using and creating data that is not contributing to your company's vision and mission. And for example, if you have hallucinations, it should never come up with things that are not real and are not existing, or use data that is coming from other data being trained and is not real. So it's try to use data that is stuck to facts in a sense. And another risk is if you apply too much AI to your business processes, the risk is to lose track of human interaction. Because like I said before, the real interaction between humans is the most important to contribute to real innovation, and not only computer analysis of what is going on. So again, that's the balance. The benefits, of course, is scalability. It's the efficiency approach, having more effective communication. You can easier upsell people to new products or cross-sell to other kind of verticals. So there's a lot of steps to be taken, or problems to be solved, or challenges to be solved with AI. And when you have the balance with solving the challenge of efficiency, time consuming activities, and effectiveness, and you balance it with the risk, like keeping enough human interaction and human values always into place, then I think a company is on the right track to make a real innovation step here.
Yes, beautifully answered. And when we talk about human place and human value, that comes to my final question. Like, what role can human input play in AI development, and how can businesses ensure that they are incorporating it effectively?
Like you mentioned before, it's a governance framework, making sure that people are involved here in the governance of AI. It's also what we are doing with Heya. Heya.ai is creating this human value framework, which is aligned to human values and the testing. And people can contribute as an individual user. You can contribute as well in the testing of these. So there's a lot of elements. Internally in your company, you can contribute as a stakeholder in the AI governance, in the deployment, in making decisions. But it's also on the outside, if you can play a role. I think it's everyone's responsibility, like I said before during the presentation, everyone's responsibility to do something to create our future generation and to prepare them for a safer world. So yeah, there's a lot of things we can do as human beings.
Yes, and adding on to that, I think human input is crucial in AI development. Like, it can ensure AI systems are designed to meet the needs of users, that are aligned with ethical and legal standards. Like, human input can also help address potential biases in AI and improve its accuracy and effectiveness as well. Like, they must also ensure that they have having a clear communication channels to provide feedback and make necessary changes to AI system as well. So that comes to my end of the question. I think we have something in the Zoom also. I have shared one question here with you. The user have in the chat with you. It's how are companies. The question is how can companies ensure that AI-driven commercial innovation are accessible and beneficial to all members of society rather than exacerbating existing inequalities?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Okay. Yes. The question is, how can companies ensure that AI-driven commercial innovation are accessible and beneficial to all member societies rather than exacerbating existing inequalities?
Yeah. Okay. A very good question. Thank you for raising this topic. That's one of the reasons we believe that bringing AI to blockchain is an important step, because it makes it just by bringing it to blockchain, it makes it accessible to everyone in society. It takes away borders, it takes away limitations, and people can contribute, use it in a fair way, but can also contribute to the development. So it doesn't matter where you are, you can contribute to the development of new AI models. If you think there's within a DAO structure, for example, there's a better version of an AI model available, you can deploy it within the community setting. So by creating this community vibe, we make sure that no one is left behind, and it's accessible for everyone in the world. Doesn't matter who you are, wherever you are, and that's why we believe blockchain is the right framework for AI.
Exactly. That comes to an end of this webinar. Thank you so much for taking out the time, Bart. Like, it's clear that AI has the potential to form businesses and industries in unprecedented ways. However, it's important to remember that AI technologies are only as ethical and effective as the human who develops and use them. Like, we have
Absolutely.
learned that businesses can balance the benefit of AI driven innovation with ethical consideration by prioritizing transparency, accountability, and human input as well. And also by fostering collaboration between AI and non AI teams and encouraging experimentation while mitigating risk. Businesses can harness full potential of AI as well. Like, it's crucial to remember that AI is not a replacement for human ingenuity, but rather a tool to amplify it. Like, I thank you so much, Bart, for all the expertise and your insights of this wonderful topic. Like, it was the burning topic nowadays. So we are very thankful for your time. And to all our attendees, thank you for all your participation and engagement. We hope you have gained an insightful and ideas to develop or navigate the evolving landscape of AI-driven commercial innovation. Till next, we'll see you then in the next webinar. We hope you guys enjoyed. And thank you, Bart. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you.
All the best. Thank you.
Thank you. It was a great session.